Nollywood actress Etinosa has questioned African elders over their failure to give an apology when they are wrong. Etinosa took to her official Instagram page on Sunday, November 7th, to express her worry over the decade-old behavior amongst elders. According to the actress, this toxic behavior is Nigerians' homes and families need to stop, and that change begins with her. Why do African elders find it so difficult to admit and apologize for their wrongs, especially to a younger person, either in age or societal hierarchy? Do you know who I am mentality? We permit this toxic behavior in our families, and it also plays out in governments where so-called constituted authorities feel so big to be accountable. To answer to the commoners, it must stop, and the change begins with me. Wow, okay.
Everybody asks me now that, do you know who I am? Do you know the song that comes to mind? Who the F are you? Hey, do you know Bobby Shank? Hey, who the F are you? Hey, do you know Mr. Fire?
Hey.
Okay, so back to this matter.
I'm
you want to start?
Impressed. I'm very impressed by Etinosa.
Yeah.
Very impressed. I find it hard to relate to 90% of the things that she says, but this one I couldn't even take out one thing. I think it was the first thing I noticed when I first got here, that I used to complain that I don't understand this thing about mentality thing, because I know that every time I went out into the world, into a bank or whatever, I was always fighting with some mother or something, and they were always telling me that I didn't have manners and I didn't have whatever, which is probably kind of true. I'm not even trying to say that I'm the most respectful person on the block, but I didn't understand the rationale that I had to respect your misbehavior just because you were an adult. So they say line up on a queue. I'm lined up on a queue. You're not my mommy. I'm not trying to give you like, I'm not trying to treat you like my mom. I'm just trying to line up like a normal human being. You now come to my front and say, oh, you're busy or something. I'm like, sister, the same 24 hours that you've got is the same 24 hours that I've got. And it's not something that you are entitled to. I can decide to give you my spot if I want to, but it's not in your rights for you to ask me that. And so when I say, no, I'm really busy, I'm so sorry, like I have to go as well, please join the queue like every other person. Say, oh, you lack manners, you don't have home training. Last I checked, it's not a home, it's a bank, so do your thing. All right. And I feel like that also happens in other aspects of society, where like, you know, families and other people treat their loved ones who are younger really terribly, and nobody can really call them out because they're older. I don't really have that. I think the society that I grew up in, even the way we call people by our first names, there's already a level of equalness amongst everybody, but there is still respect, and the respect is based off on how you carry yourself, not necessarily your age or your title. So we call, okay, Miss Jakes or Miss Mary or whatever, or Mary the teacher that we call, we still all respect her because she carries herself well, not just because she has gray hair on her head. And I think that's something that we need to start emulating.
All right, so I'm gonna start this one. You see, I always have a story for everything. So I have a friend who works in a company, right? And yeah, it's also a media house as well. And this guy has a superior, right, who kind of talks down on him. And the age difference between them is not that much. But because you are my superior, and somebody feels like you should talk to me in a certain way. Now, most of the superiors and even corporate environments do not even know how to apologize when you're wrong. Now, I remember when I used to have a boss way back in Ghana who said that I can't be wrong. Somebody has to take the fall even when I'm wrong. Yeah. And then, now this story of my friend that I'm telling you about has a superior who he went for clarity to get things done, and then suddenly she kind of called him a thug. Do you understand? And this guy was like, how can you even say that in a workplace? And even after he confronted her, do you know what she did? Instead, she wanted to escalate it. Do you understand? And everybody thought, what's going on? And he called me because he was bothered. He was like, Omo, how do I handle this situation? Because he was losing his mind. And I told him, just stay calm. At the end of the day, know that your superiors are your superiors. So what Etinosa is saying, yeah, is just about the fact that a lot of adults do not even want, you know deep inside your heart that you are wrong. Do you understand? But instead of you to just say, okay, I apologize for this thing, you want to say, but you're the younger one.
Person,
Yeah,
yeah.
do you understand? Like, can we just stop doing that in this part of the world?
Yeah,
Which
let's
is
stop
why
doing that.
I like the story of that girl who said that there was a woman who was packed in a spot and she was waiting. Can you remember that story? And then the moment she came down, almost said she whipped them like crazy. But you know, you can't do that in the workplace.
But I will still,
I will still
put my foot down. Now, I still put my foot down in the workplace regardless. I feel like once I've turned the age of an adult, there's just a level of treatment that I cannot tolerate from anybody. As I'm an adult as well, you cannot talk to me as a child. I am not your child. There's a very big difference between home settings and professional settings, or even public gatherings and interactions when we're outside. I feel like as an adult, I deserve a level of respect.
Yeah.
And even if I'm wrong, your tone has to make sense, because if you don't talk to me with respect, I'm so sorry. I don't think I'm going to respond with respect, because that's not how it works.
Reciprocal,
exactly.
Man. That's what they say.
Yes, and so there needs to be more accountability for that. I think here too there is a special kind of fear for employees, because they kind of like employers rather, because they hold your money and your livelihood and stuff. But I in the short period I've been here, I feel like it's not even worth it regardless, because no matter what you hold against me, if I don't have the fundamental treatment of a human being, then it's hard to thrive in that kind of space. If I feel like I'm not being respected.
And especially you know, working environment has to be solid. Do you understand? I want to go to a workplace where I'm happy every day.
Better build your own company.
So you can't be happy. I've seen people that are happy in their job. You know, when my guy told me, I was like, come on, but how come I'm not experiencing it where I work? Because, you know, the workplace out here is really amazing.
Oh my gosh.
And these people, you know, just show you so much love. Like, man, big shout out to PlusTvAfrica. You're out of your ones.
On that note, let's move to another story. So rapper Kanye West has made it known that Kim Kardashian is still his wife. This is coming after it was reported that Kim and comedian Pete Davidson might be romantically involved and was spotted going to dinner for the second night in a row this week. So Kim and Kanye were married for nearly 7 years before the Keeping Up with the Kardashian star filed for a divorce. The former couple shared 4 kids together. They do share 4 kids together. North, 8, Saint, 5, North, who is 8 years old, Saint, who is 5 years old, Chicago, who's 3, and Psalm, who's 2. The 44-year-old rapper opened up on his life, notably his impending divorce from the Keeping Up with the Kardashian star, on an upcoming Drink Champs podcast. The rapper repeatedly called Kim his wife as he reflected on their split. After noting the public keeps saying the pair is divorced, Kanye said, "We are not even divorced. This ain't no joke to me. My kids want their parents to stay together. I want us to be together. If you look at the media, that's not what they are prompting. That's not what they want. They want it to be a new episode on a new TV show. And then they have people all around in my wife's ear." Oh.
What do you think?
Guy, mental health is so important. It's so important because, like, and I feel like it's also a very delicate thing, because I can see that these people have so much love for each other, but Kim can no longer manage someone with this level of what's it called? That's what I'm regurgitating. That no, it's his bipolar disorder that
it says personality.
Bipolar disorder, personality disorder is the same thing. So, like, you know, his personality disorder is so full blown, and because it's Kanye West, it's so displayed on a public scale that it's unbearable to keep up with. Like, I don't know if you remember what he just did recently on Twitter with, I think it was Big Sean, if I'm not mistaken. This guy came out on one radio station and said Big Sean is against him, that he regrets the day he met Big Sean, that Big Sean is such a terrible person.
Yeah, because Big Sean started his own record label, and you know Big Sean was on the good music for a lot of years. That even gets worse. And then he was like, oh, Big Sean did not support him when he was doing his president, whatever. And Big Sean then replies and says, "I'm so confused." Uploads a picture of Kanye West and him the night before, chilling. He was like, oh, we were having a good time. You don't get it. That's a bipolar disorder tendency.
That's why I was even asking if Tiwa Savage had that thing with him. What's it called? Had her blow up with Shay Shay, because I've seen them together before. When she was saying that, hi, you're that gist and stuff. My point is that is that you blow.
Are you trying to say Tiwa Savage has bipolar disorder?
I was trying to say that Tiwa Savage's behavior in the salon did not make any sense to me. That's what I'm saying. But what's it called? You know, that kind of thing where like everything is so abrupt. Like, do you remember that there was a time where this guy was saying that Kim Kardashian is against his soul and all that kind of stuff. So there is like a constantly fluctuating emotion. Like, imagine chilling with you, we've had a good time or bros, and then the next day you're bringing up something up that happened like 3 weeks ago, because that's just how his mind and his mental health at the moment is, and that's so hard to manage.
I think that happens.
And so it's so sad, because imagine like somebody who like 1 minute ago was saying that, oh, I'm happy for the divorce and we'll do our own thing separately, and then you find him on a podcast saying that, oh, I love my wife so much. Like, such a tug of emotion just pulling at Kim. I can imagine that it's too much.
For me, right, I'm really rooting for the both of them, and I just really hope this works.
Unfortunately, I'm not.
Yeah, but the thing is, with Kanye West bipolar disorder, we have to think about Kim's
that's why
happiness
I cannot root for
as
them,
well.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, so I think she's in the best position to make this decision.
And she has decided for herself. She's filed the divorce. I think that it must
Baba
be
might not
such
sign for like another 5 years. He wants to stay married to Kim.
I think it's such a hard thing for them to do. But I think at best they can co-parent nicely. But if I'm thinking about Kim Kardashian as a woman, not even just forget kids. As Kim Kardashian as a human being, she deserves a very reliable, stable love.
Now, she leave the kids with Kanye.
Of course, now they will co-parent. Like, she's trying to steal the kids away from Kanye. And I think they always have a good relationship anyway. But having that as a lover and a partner to do life with, I think is a bit much to ask anyone.
Right.
Anyway, let's go on another commercial break. We'll be right back.